We are at video number 17. The student is asking a question. You say the self is pure, free, and ever present. Then why don't I experience it? What hides it from me? The teacher replies, nothing can truly hide the self, but your attention gets covered. Just like clouds cover the sun is never gone. Your vision is simply blocked. The Bhagavad Gītā explains that several layers arise within us and create this clouding. These layers are not real in themselves, but they appear real due to our identification with them. The student is asking a question. Is the first layer the body? The teacher replies, yes. You begin by thinking, I am this body. But the Gita says, the self cannot be cut, burned, dried, or wetted. This means the self has nothing to do with the physical body. Yet, we get trapped in the body identity. For example, my hands, my shape, my height, my health. The moment you believe you are the body, you forget the one who is simply watching the body. The student is asking another question. What is the second layer? The teacher replies, your life energy, your breathe, your vitality. You start thinking, I am tired, I am energetic, I feel lazy, I feel active. But these belong to your energy system, not your true self. This layer keeps you busy in pleasure and pain. The student is asking another question. The mind seems powerful. Is this a major layer? Teacher replies, yes, this is the biggest trap. The mind is filled with likes, dislikes, fears, desires, worries, memories. The Gita says that the mind creates a false sense of I that overshadows the real self. This layer constantly whispers, I want this, I don't want that. I am sacred, I am scared, I am upset, I am incomplete. In truth, the self is free from all moods. This layer constantly whispers, I want this, I don't want that. I am scared, I am upset, I am incomplete. In truth, the self is free from all moods. But As long as you think you are the mind, the self will feel distant. The student is asking another question. How does the intellect hide the self? Isn't intellect good? The teacher replies, intellect is useful, but it becomes a barrier when it becomes rigid. It says, I know everything. I am right. I am separate from others. When the intellect is proud, it refuses to be still, but only in stillness does the self shine. The Gita calls this the ego of knowledge, a very subtle layer. The student is asking another question. And the deepest layer, the teacher replies, the ego, the sense of being a separate I. This is the root illusion. The ego says, I am the doer. I am the achiever. I am important. Everything happens because of me. But the Gita teaches the gunas act on the gunas. The self merely witnesses. This means nature does all actions through the body and mind. The true self only observes silently. Ego takes credit, carries burdens, and because of this, the self is forgotten. This sentence, the gunas act on the gunas, the self merely witnesses. This comes from Advaita Vedanta or similar Indian philosophical frameworks, and it is loaded with subtle meaning. Here is a step by step elaboration. Number one, understanding the key terms first. Gunas. In Indian philosophy, particularly Sankhya means knowledge. The gunas are the three fundamental qualities or tendencies that shape all of Prakriti. And what is Prakriti? Nature, matter. These are three. Number one, Sattva, which is clarity, harmony, purity. Number two, Rajas, means activity, passion, movement. And the third one is Tamas, means inertia, darkness, heaviness. So we have three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Everything in the material and mental world, thoughts, emotions, actions, is influenced by these three gunas in varying proportions. Number B, the self Atman. The self refers to pure consciousness, the witnessing principle that is unchanging, non material, and separate from the mind body complex. Unlike the body, mind, or intellect, the self does not act, it only observes. Point number two, the gunas act on the gunas. This means that all activity, change, and interaction in the world happens entirely within the realm of the guna. For example, rajas activity can stir up tamas inertia, or sattva clarity can influence rajas. Thoughts, desires, emotions, bodily actions all arise from these interactions. Essentially, all processes are self contained within nature. Nothing is acting independently of the gunas. Point number three. The self merely witnesses. The self does not participate in these interactions, even though you feel that you are thinking, feeling, or acting. Those phenomena are products of the gunas. The self's role is like the sky observing clouds. The clouds, gunas, move, change, and interact, but the sky itself remains unchanged and untouched. This is why in Advaita Vedanta, liberation, which is called moksha, is realized when one identifies with the self rather than with the gunas or their products. Point number four. Now, putting it together in plain terms, everything you do, think, or feel is driven by the interplay of the three gunas. Everything you do, think, or feel is driven by the interplay of the three gunas. And what are three gunas? Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. You're not the doer. You are the witness of these forces. Recognizing this distinction is the key to inner freedom because you understand that your true nature is untouched, eternal consciousness, even though your body mind is constantly fluctuating. Now, let us see point number five, analogy. Think of a movie projected on a screen. The gunas are like all the actors, lights, and scenes in the movie. They move, fight, and interact. The self is like the screen itself. Nothing the actors do can harm the screen. It merely watches. The student is asking another question. How exactly does the illusion function? How does it fool us so easily? The teacher replies, illusion works through three simple tricks. Number one, identification. You begin to identify with the body, mind, feelings, success, relationships, and possessions. You say I to things that are not you. This is the seed of illusion. Number two, projection. Your mind then projects desires, fears, imaginations, and expectations on the world. You start chasing things outside, believing they will complete you. But the Gita warns the world cannot fill a heart that is empty of its own self. Number three, forgetfulness. Finally, the distraction becomes so strong that you forget your true nature entirely. Not because the self has gone anywhere, but because you stopped looking at it. Just like you forget the background screen while watching a movie. You forget the ocean while watching the waves. The student is asking another question. This sounds serious. Is there hope? Can I break these layers? The teacher replies, you do not have to break anything. You only have to see clearly. The illusion disappears the moment you understand it. The Gita says, when the mind becomes steady and quiet, the self reveals itself like the sun rising in a cloudless sky. This means when you stop identifying with the body, you feel free. When you observe your mind, you feel peaceful. When you loosen the ego, you feel light. When your intellect becomes humble, wisdom shines. And then the truth dawns. I am not the layers. I am the pure, bright consciousness behind them. This realization is the birth of true strength, clarity, and fearlessness. Final blessings for you. The layers are temporary. The self is eternal. The illusion is fragile. The truth within you is unbreakable. Walk with this understanding, and you will live with peace in your heart, power in your actions, freedom in your mind, light in your eyes. This is the greatest victory the Gita offers to every seeker. Hari Om.